Hi everyone, welcome back to the Reddit Drama channel with another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and like the video if you enjoy it. Also, please click the notification bell so you won't miss when another cheating story goes live. These simple clicks mean a lot to our channel, and thank you for your support.
My worst nightmare had come true when I looked at her phone and found. I am crushed beyond words. I, 41M, found out last Saturday night, 4 days ago as of this posting, that my wife, 40F, has been having an affair for the past several months with a man from her gym. I had my suspicions for weeks/months, but I kept convincing myself I was being irrational, and that she, of all people, could never do something like that to me. I looked at her phone after she was asleep, invasion of privacy, I know, but it was justified, and I saw ironclad, photographic proof that my worst nightmare had come true. My heart is shattered into a million pieces. I confronted her and we have been talking about it, what to do next, ever since. There have been rivers of tears, from both of us, but surprisingly, no anger, no rage. I don't know if that just means I have not yet arrived at that stage of grief yet, I hope that's not the case, or if it just means that I love her so much that her betrayal makes me sad, not mad. Please do not knee-jerk reaction to this and call her a whore, tell me to kick her to the curb, etc. I need positivity right now, not more negativity. I still love her, deeply. Even the most egregious of sins can't undo 20 years of true love. I'm committed to try my best to work this out with her and hopefully, in time, learn to trust her again, forgive, and reconcile. Partly because I want our two daughters, 6 and 9, to grow up in a loving home with two parents that are an example of how to be a good couple, recent transgressions notwithstanding. I'm not sure I'll ever tell them about this. But more importantly, I want to reconcile because I don't believe in holding grudges, I don't believe in throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and I do believe in second chances, and I definitely believe that with the exception of this infidelity, she is the best thing that has ever happened to me. I want this to be a very dark chapter in our story, not the end. She has since contacted him and ended their relationship, and he agreed to attend a different gym class timeslot midday, gracious, for a human piece of garbage, while my wife attends at 6 a.m. still. So at least there is some closure there. We have been talking ad nauseum about why she strayed. While it was 100% her choice to betray me and hurt me in such an unimaginable way, nothing happens in a vacuum. After some deep reflection, I realized that over the years I have been taking her for granted. I love us were few and far between, sex had become predictable, scheduled, and robotic, though she shares half the blame for that. After lengthy discussions, and a lot of ugly crying, we also determined that somewhere along the way of having kids, the flame of passion had gone out. We were friends, and co-parents, still loved each other, but we didn't show it well. We got complacent. We have been talking, well, texting, actually, since was out of town Monday to Wednesday this week, bad timing for a work trip, and are trying to navigate this and eventually begin the rebuilding process. Eventual forgiveness will happen, time heals all wounds, but trusting her again will be the hard part. She swears up and down she will never let it happen again, but yeah, that's what they all say. Some would say once a cheater, always a cheater. She's actually said that many times herself in the past, and that doing something bad keeps getting easier with each offense. The counterpoint to that is that the first time you do something, you may know what the consequences would be, the guilt, knowing how much it would crush me, but until you actually feel and experience those consequences, you don't really understand them. Some people return to a life of crime after getting out of prison, and some people get their shit together and go straight. I hope/want to believe that my wife is of the latter. I'm using a throwaway account and remaining anonymous for a number of reasons. Firstly, I'm embarrassed. I know I'm victim blaming myself, but I can't help but feel like the beta male that was bested by the alpha. I've been cuckolded and it feels horrible. I don't want everyone to know this. I'm trying to find the glimmer of hope in all things right now, and all I can say to this is that she remains with me, and the alpha is alone now. Another reason not telling anyone in real life about this right now is that when we do reconcile, I don't want everyone she knows to hate her. This would not be productive for living a healthy life for either of us. Family gatherings would all be dysfunctional, and she would not feel comfortable in her own skin living in our neighborhood among people who think she is scum. The only one who needs to bear the burden of judging and forgiving her is me. And well, partially you now, because of this post. Sorry about that. If I ever decide to tell people about this, it won't be until this is all a distant, horrible memory. Anyways, please try to stay positive here. Negativity begets negativity. She's not a WHRE, she's not a SLT. She's the mother of my children, the love of my life, and my best friend. She made a horrible, horrible choice, and we will deal with the fallout in the best way we can, and I hope beyond hope that in a month or a year or more, we can look back on this as a low point and that we crawled out of the depths of hell together. What doesn't kill us, only makes us stronger. Here is the second story. I confronted her AP and boy did I want to punch a hole through him. When my wife cheated, she did so with my best friend. She was with him multiple nights while I was working, sent pictures and had long conversations through texting. This all took place over the course of maybe a month. After I found out, we were working through it. But then I found out that for about 4 months she had also been in contact with an ex through WhatsApp. For months she had been messaging him, they said I love you. They said sexual things. He is married as well. I read a message where my wife had said, and it's a direct quote, I love you. I hate my life with you, not here with me. She hates her life when she isn't with him? I lost it. I got his number from WhatsApp, I called twice and he didn't answer. He messaged me asking who I was, and boy did I tell him. I had never felt so much rage at another human being. I had already started to come to terms with what had happened with my friend. And suddenly there was another person to direct all the pain and anger towards. I threatened him. Within an inch of his life. I'm not a small person, but he sure is. I knew where he lived across the state and I know they had no physical contact during this time, and he knew that I knew that. I could tell he was scared. He was scared of me and he was scared of his wife finding out. He begged me to just leave it between us. He swore up and down he would never contact my wife again. But I wasn't done. I took the screenshots I had of their conversations and I sent them to his wife. This, at least I did with all the care and tact I could. This woman did me no harm, she was a victim. Just as I was. I expressed my sorrow to her and the pain I felt telling her these things. But I also told her I felt I had a duty to ensure she knew, and I hoped she would have done the same for me. I haven't heard from either of them. She never responded and he has blocked both my wife and me, I checked, on multiple formats. It almost scared me how mad I was talking to him. I'm not a violent person. Far from it. But I do not doubt that I had been in the physical presence of that man. I would be in jail. Knowing that for months, he was the man she turned to for emotional support. He was the man she took pictures for. He was the man she wished she was in bed with. All of it took me to the edge then threw me over. That was all some time ago, and my wife and I are in a much better place than we were back then. But deep down I can't really let go of the memory of the feeling of wanting to harm that man. I feel guilty for it. Here are some of the best comments from our community. D-Day revealed some of the darkest things in my heart, my friend. I completely relate to that feeling of being unhinged and not even recognizing yourself anymore. I acted in ways I am ashamed of now, too, ripped apart a card, cut up my wedding dress, etc. I think we've all been there. Frown. But the thing is, what's done is done. The conversation is over and you can't go back and erase it. So how can you channel your rage in a healthy way? Can you pick up a sport or physical hobby that lets you get some of the pent-up anger out? You certainly have been through so much. I would have done exactly the same thing. At the time, was your wife remorseful? What possessed her to do that with that guy? I'll never understand cheaters. I commend you for staying. I certainly would have not. I'm happy it's worked out for you. But always be aware. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.